Hi everyone, this is Ayush Agrawal from Doipe. So actually I've been planning to create this video from quite some time on the topic of embroidery, and within this video we are going to cover these points. First of all, what is embroidery digitization? Second thing is that why is it so time consuming? Third is that what are the placements possible, like within a t-shirt, what type of placement is possible. Fourth is design. I'll show you some design examples which are good and which are not good. Also I'll show you a few things which might be changed by our designers as they deem fit. And the last point will be that how the exact colors are never possible in embroidery. Because so let's begin this video by answering this last point first, and that is embroidery. First of all, we all need to understand is that embroidery is not print, right? It's actual stitch using an actual thread, and that's how you get the embroidery effect. Rather, it's not the effect, I mean that is the embroidery. So let me begin by first of all telling you what is digitization. So let's open this file. This is actually a file sent to us by a customer. Now so this file is not in vector format. However, I need each and every file in vector format because that is very critical. Otherwise, embroidery is not possible. This one is not, but we have charged the client for customization and everything. I mean converting the file from a rasterized format to vector, etc. But I can understand in a POD setup, first of all, it's not possible. Second thing is that usually the brand owners have people at their disposal whom they can use, or they themselves are designers, so they can do a pretty good job of vectorizing a file. Nonetheless, so this is the file. Now you can see how pixelated this file is. Obviously for embroidery this is not the right type of file. Now this is a vectorized file, so obviously irrespective of how much you zoom it in, it's going to be the same because it's not a rasterized image anymore, it's a mathematical formula. So this is how the file is looking like once it's vectorized. Also, I wanted to show you one thing. Let me find that. Yeah. Do you see this tiny anomaly? I would call an anomaly because obviously this color is not really part of this particular circle. So it should have been purple, whereas it's peach or whatever this color is known as. So even this thing will be picked by the machine. Right, so now I don't know if you are getting it, but this is like 1/10 of a millimeter, like 1/10 of a millimeter, and obviously machine is not going to be able to reproduce this because even 1 millimeter is too small for machine, but nonetheless this is going to be picked. So obviously one needs to check for even things which are as tiny as this, or for example this thing. So this file, so the vectorization process is still under development, and so that's the reason there are these anomalies. But obviously once my designer goes through it thoroughly, then none of these issues will be there and none of these anomalies will be there. So this is point number one. Now we convert it. So this is just the vectorization. Now we convert it into embroidery. So this was the original file, vectorized original file, and this is the digitized file. So a lot of times people ask me for software, which software are you using, etc. So you can see everything on the screen. So this is the the digitized file. Now as you can see, this is hardly like, how much was it? This is hardly, wait, let me convert it into inches. So this is hardly 9, just a little above 9 inches, and yet you can see this entire embroidery will require almost 40,000 stitches. Now when I say 40,000 stitches, that simply means that the needle of the machine is going to go inside the fabric for 40,000 times. Just imagine that obviously you want a t-shirt or whatever product you are buying, you want that, you don't want a bloody net, right? So obviously that is not really good. So again, this is not a good job of digitization. I am saying it, I'm calling it not a good job. Reason being, again, this thing is work under development. So this thing now also I'll show you a few things. For example, and each and everything has to be figured out by the digitizer. So for example, this thing, now this is a tatami stitch. This part is only going to look good in tatami if I convert this into satin, because this is satin, this is satin. See, as you can see here, it's changing. If I'm selecting this, it's satin. So if I make this thing in tatami, it will not look good. If I make this thing in satin, it will not look good. So each and every of these things are needed to be considered by the digitizer while digitizing. Again, now another thing, just see the angle of the thread. Here in this part, the thread is running sort of like in a vertical angle, right? So this is how it's running, the way I'm moving my cursor. Whereas right next to it in this part, the thread or the direction of the angle of the machine has been changed to this. So all these things are extremely critical. Another thing that is critical is that how many stitches a particular region requires. So for example, just this tiny circle, now this is how big, let me figure that out. It's this one, yeah. So this one, so this let me convert it to millimeters again. So this one, now this is 8 millimeters, so basically roughly about 1/3 of an inch, or whichever measurement system you are comfortable with. So metric or imperial, both the numbers are there. So this is just 8 mm. 8 mm is nothing, it's obviously less than that of a centimeter, which is 10 mm. So this is very small area, and despite that there are a lot of stitches. Now I can't show you the exact stitches that are there in this thing. Obviously I don't know much. My digitizer will be able to tell you the exact number of stitches that are required just for this tiny circle. But nonetheless, if there are a lot of stitches, because it's a dense area and it's satin fill, so satin stitch, so satin requires more number of stitches. So now what will happen is that the machine is going to keep on poking the needle inside the fabric, and there is a possibility that by the end of it there is no fabric, like there will be a hole, because the machine has basically torn off the fabric. So obviously none of us want that. So that's the reason a digitizer has to go through each and everything, where how many stitches are there. Again, these dots, these dots, these dots, these are again very dense dots. Again, a lot of number of stitches are required. So again, the digitizer has to create it in a fashion so that this thing is not tearing off the fabric or not damaging the fabric, but giving you the required look, and yet the fabric is intact and the integrity of it is going to last you for a long time, right? So this is another point. So nonetheless, so this is the digitization. Now again, digitization is not completed here. So these are the number of stitches. So for example, yeah, so these are the number of stitches. These are the these are all the stitches. So for example, you can see that the first step for the machine will be start, the second step will be x coordinate this, y coordinate this, and the length of the stitch will be 1.99 mm. So 2 millimeters long stitch is the first stitch, so on and so forth. And then here is a list of all the 40,000 stitches which are required to create this design. That is point number one. Another thing that I wanted to show you is that here it's a stitch player. So here the machine is stitching, so you can see it in real time that it's making the stitches. Okay, so here the machine is stitching. Now what I want to show you is that, see here, first green color is running. then the pink color is running, then the purple one, then red, again purple, again red, again purple. Despite this one being only 5 color design, still the machine has to change the thread multiple times. Now what happens is that this is time consuming. So again, digitizer has to keep that part also in mind, that each and every of these stitches are are run on color basis, not on the object basis. So and that is also extremely difficult. Reason being, what happens is that, for example, this design is not really good to give you that example, but yeah, as you can see here, purple is running first. As you can see in this timeline, purple is running first and then the red. So obviously this is not the effect that you are going to get. Rather, these lines will come on top of purple, which is not the look that the customer wanted, right? So that's the reason why red is running again. But here the purple needs to run first, then pink, then red. So a digitizer's job is to keep all these things in mind and then create the design accordingly. So which is why embroidery digitization process is so time consuming. Hopefully now you understand why we charge you 800 rupees for the digitization, and why even 800 rupees is not really much, because this is extremely time consuming. Sometimes, for example, this one single design, I can understand you might feel that that's a lot, but yes, that's how complex and time consuming this process is. So this one design can very well take 13 to 14 hours. Now obviously, first of all, as far as my managerial staff is concerned, my factory runs for 12 hours, but as far as my managerial staff is concerned, their job is only for 8 hours. Other than that, obviously it's not the only design that they are working on. So that's the reason why digitization might take 10-12 days also in some cases. And we really appreciate cooperation and patience from our customers. So this is another thing. Now I'll come to a different type of stitch. So this is tatami, this is satin, right? Now I'll come to a different type of stitch. So let's talk about this file. So here is a file. Okay, now this is a file. Let's say it's a logo, your company's logo. By the way, it's a fantastic name. You can keep it as a company name. So anyway, so let's say this is the logo of your company or brand or whatever, and you wanted to get this thing stitched on whatever piece of garment. Now what happens is that this thing, first of all, here I have tried to do some calculations like measurements and all. So first of all, the entire length of this logo is 2.96 inches or 75.193 millimeters, and the height is 6.282 millimeters. Okay, now if we focus on this region, the space between where the Y is ending and where the U is starting, so this is only 0.5 millimeters. Now some people understand how small is 1 millimeter, some people don't. So for that I got this image. So this is how big or how wide 1 millimeter is. Hopefully you understand. So this is 1 millimeter, this is 1.5 millimeters. So this is how tiny 1 millimeter is. So now for machine it's impossible. There is no machine which can be this precise. I mean, printing yes, but embroidery absolutely not. Again, the width of this one bar of H, so this is how big? This is 1.1 millimeters, and this is half a millimeter. So basically just imagine that half of even this. So obviously this is not possible. Now I'll show you how it looks in embroidery. So this is how it looks. However, on the computer screen it might look absolutely fine to you. Obviously you might focus on these, but then yeah, this is in fact very good. The machine will not even give you this kind of result. But so this is how it looks on the machine, and see, even in the software it has actually made a jump. So this is a jump stitch. So it has made a jump because obviously it's not possible, but nonetheless So this is not at all possible for machine, and it's only looking good on the software, but it's not going to look good when it's actually stitched. Okay, so for that only there is this another type of stitch called a run stitch. So this is run stitch. So if at all you send us a design which looks like this, so we'll either give you something like this, or else we can give you something like this. So for example, now obviously my drawing is bullshit, so don't focus on that. So this is the A. So we are going to give you this type of embroidery. So this is A. Okay, now this is a run stitch and this is an outline run stitch. So basically here the run stitch is going around the graphic. Here the run stitch is sort of like following the center line of the graphic. So this is how my digitizer is going to trace this. So this is how it's going to be, and each and every object is actually digitized like this only. So that's it. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. So this is a single run stitch, which is each stitch length is 2.5 millimeters in this case. And we obviously changed that part also. We changed multiple things while digitizing. So this is how the run stitch looks like. Okay, now what point is left? Yeah, so placement. So placement also, let me just pull up image of a t-shirt quickly. So now let's say this is the t-shirt, and just focus on my cursor. So let's say this is the area where you want the embroidery. Okay, this is the area. Now this is not possible when you are giving me an order of one piece. If you are giving me an order of, you know, whatever 40-50 pieces, yes, it's possible. Why is it not possible? Reason being, for embroidery to happen, the machine needs to hold the fabric, right? First it needs to hold the fabric, then only it will be able to stitch on top of it. Now here this part is empty, right? Here it's just plain thin air. So obviously how exactly is the machine going to hold this part? So that's the reason this part is not possible to embroider. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that you know, whenever you are giving us the embroidery file, for example something like this area or armpit area, any of these type of areas are not possible for embroidery, you know, with embroidery. If you are giving me a plain flat area, it's possible. All right, so that is another thing. Then I have already covered this point. Now let's talk about the last point. So, and also why is it so time consuming? So first of all, digitization is also time consuming. Another thing is that production is also time consuming. So for example, if we talk about this design, you know, this design, so this design requires how many? 40,000 stitches, as we saw, you know, 39,420 to be precise. So now if we talk about these many stitches, so basically you know, machine usually runs at 500 stitches per minute. So if we are talking about these many stitches and 500 stitches per minute, so basically in order to create this one single design on a one piece, it's going to take this much time, you know, 78 minutes, 84 whatever that is. So 78.84 divided by this, so this is how many hours it's going to take just to create this one single file, this one single embroidered t-shirt or whatever. So just imagine, that is how much time it's going to take. Obviously by the time my digitizer is done with it, it's not going to be, you know, 39,000 stitches. Probably it will come down to about 16,000 or 15,000 stitches, because that is the most important task of an embroidery digitizer, to bring down the number of stitches to as low as possible, so that it doesn't damage the fabric and it doesn't take a lot of raw materials, both in terms of thread consumed as well as the time consumed. So obviously that is going to be there, but still even 16,000 stitches means, you know, 16,000 divided by 500. So it is still a lot of time consuming process. Okay, And then we come to the last part, which is how exact colors are not possible. Now, obviously, I mean, as a print file, you can give me any color in the world you want, right? You can just change it. For example, this black, you can, if you want, you can change it to just the exact shade of black or whatever. For example, something like this, and then you would expect me to create this, but that is not possible. Simple reason being, first of all, obviously, embroidery is not the only machine we have. So obviously, we don't have all the raw materials in the world. Another thing is that, forget me, there is not even a manufacturer in the world who is creating all the colors, because in CMYK there are millions of colors possible. So if anyone expects the exact same shade, so they just need to question themselves that what are they expecting. Are they expecting that there is a manufacturer out there in the world who is keeping the thread of each and every color possible? Is that even physically possible? My entire factory will be small if I just start stocking each and every color. So it's just not possible. So obviously colors are also not at all possible. If you want an exact shade, it's never going to be possible. We just try to match the closest color possible, but the exact shade, that is never possible. So hopefully this video was helpful and you understood what and how digitization and how the embroidery works. So hopefully you understood everything, and hopefully I will not receive a lot of phone calls with respect to this topic. Nonetheless, thanks a lot for watching. I know it's quite a long video, but it's a complex topic. So again, thanks a lot for watching, and we are here to make as many products as you want. Thanks again.